Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's the Kitty G, and I'm back again with another video. And today, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be looking back at Arsenal's season. We're going to look back at the highs and the lows. We're going to look from the beginning, from the Community Shield win versus Liverpool, all the way to the win versus Brighton on the last day of the season at home when fans came back into the stadium. We're going to look back at everything. We're going to see the whole schedule, see what happened, how it went down, looking at all the different nuances of the Premier League season and how we absolutely ruined ourselves. Right? And you know what? Everyone is included. Yeah, you can come on if you want to come on, guys. You guys want to come on, you can come on. What's going on, Abdullah? Big up James Haddon, my peoples. So yeah, first things first. Smash a like on the video, subscribe if you're new. You guys already know what it is. It's the Kitty G, and we're back again with another video. We're going to be doing a season recap. We're going to be looking at every single game. Yes, and in a short, how would I describe this season? This season has been a season of two halves, in my opinion. You have the part where we had no creativity, and we were struggling for creativity. We were struggling and begging and praying for somebody to come into this team and help us with our creativity. And then we had the second half of the season, which went better. We went a lot better. We had creativity. We were getting results. We were just scraping by, but we were unable to get over that final hurdle, which was Villarreal. We needed to beat Villarreal, which we couldn't do. It was just unfortunate term of events. But yeah, I got my guys with me. I got my peoples. Everyone, you already know what it is. Smash the like button. Let's get this show on the road. Bang. Anyways, so first things first. Let's just quick look back at the season. How did the season begin? The season begun with the Liverpool game where we beat them in the Community Shield, right? And after beating them in the Community Shield on penalties, you know what? There was a lot of people gassed. I'm not going to lie. There was a lot of people gassed. We should have never got gassed after beating a team on penalties. And then, remember, Willian's coming out party. Willian came out, and he was putting in work. I think Willian got man of the match the first game of the season, if you guys remember. Aubameyang scored in the opening minutes, like in a couple of seconds. He was still playing on the left wing at the time. Oh man, it was good vibes. Good vibes sometimes. But yo, things quickly turned south for Aubameyang. But at that time, we were still enjoying him. We were still happy with Aubameyang's results. We were still happy with Aubameyang at the time. We were still enjoying him. But yo, things went south quick for Aubameyang. Don't forget, he scored in that game. And I think he ended up scoring in the next game also versus West Ham. Am I mistaken? No, Lacazette scored in that game versus West Ham. If you guys remember the game versus West Ham, Eddie Nketiah connection with Danny Ceballos won us the game. The second game of the season, we barely almost drew that game. But we somehow scraped by and won that game. Yo, it was good vibes. Good vibes. We won that game. We moved on. Eddie Nketiah got us the win. And you know what? Things were looking up. You want to know why things were looking up? Because the next game we had was against Leicester in the Community Shield. And you know what? Eddie Nketiah once again did his job. Eddie Nketiah called me. He was doing his thing. Third game in a row. We won. We were chilling. We were at the top of the mountain at that time. No stress. But what happened? Quickly things changed, might I say. If you guys remember what happened that next game, we faced Liverpool. And Jota had a come-out party. He scored his first Liverpool goal against Arsenal in a 3-1 thrashing of the Arsenal. 3-1 thrashing. And at one point, I thought we were going to be able to at least get something out of this game. Looking back at this game, I was like, yo, I didn't know what to say. I did not know what to say. But yeah, 3-1 thrashing. Liverpool came back, beat us 3-1. We had a chance. Lacazette had a chance. He was through. And once again, he missed. But yeah, that game, if you guys remember, Robertson scored. You had Salah scored. And no, Mane scored. Am I wrong? Who scored that game? Yeah, Mane scored, Jota scored, and Robertson scored. So it was a mad thing. But then we faced them again, and it was in the EFL Cup. It went to penalties, and we won on penalties. But then the next game, Sheffield United. You know what happened in the Sheffield United game? Bukayo Saka and Pepe saved our asses. We just scraped by again. This was another game where we just scraped by. And I remember after winning this game, we were still in the top four. People were happy, but it was a false dawn because I remember a lot of people were saying we have not played well and we're scraping by games against shit opposition. And Bukayo Saka was saving our ass over and over and over and over and over again, right? And that game, Pepe came on and scored too, right? If you remember, it was a good game. It was a good game. Pepe came on, scored, but hey, not a lot happened. Not a lot happened in that. Yeah, not a lot happened after that. After that, that's where things started to go south. Things started to go south then. If you remember, we faced Manchester City. What happened in that Manchester City game? 1-0, 1-0 defeat. And if you remember, there was a situation where there was a high boot by Kyle Walker that could have been given. It was never given. Man City 1-0 defeat. That was one of our first defeats of the season after the Liverpool game. So we lost to Liverpool, then we lost to Man City, and then worst case scenario, 3 in a row. Jamie Vardy had a party at the Emirates after Lacazette's goal was disallowed, and Jamie Vardy wasn't even starting that game. He came on, scored a goal, and you know what? That's where things just started to go down south. So now that's 3 losses in a row, 3 on a trot, 3 losses back to back to back. Jamie Vardy's having a party, and Mustafi and Xhaka look like idiots. What are you going to do? What the fuck are you going to do? Anyways, so that's now 3 losses in a row. Our record is not looking so good. We now have Manchester United. This game got us gassed. This game got us a little too gassed, in my opinion. The Manchester United game got us too gassed, man. Got us too gassed. You want to know why? Because Aubameyang puts away the penalty. He put away the penalty versus Manchester United, and people are saying, "Take your time with it." And nah, man, that ended up biting us in the ass. That ended up being karma, because the penalty that ended up being a celebration and beating Manchester United for the first time away from home at their house turned into a story that led to our downfall. From there, it all went downhill. Everything went downhill from that moment. Everything went downhill. If you guys remember, the next game is Aston Villa at home. And what happened against Aston Villa at home? Certain man's had too much fun. Ollie Watkins, 2 goals. Bukayo Saka, own goal. They even had a goal disallowed. Just look at this picture. What the hell is Leno doing in this picture? What the hell is Leno doing in this picture? What the hell is Leno doing in this picture? I'm not going to lie to you guys. It was a mad thing. It was an absolute mad thing what happened at them times. Them times were from there, it all went downhill. I can't believe it. How did we lose to Aston Villa at home? 3-0. You know, a lot of people say that's their darkest moment of the season. For me, there's darker moments than that. They're coming. You wait. But Aston Villa, 3-0, you know. I was shitting myself. I was absolutely bricking it, as you guys would say. I was so pissed. Couldn't believe it. Couldn't believe it, what I was witnessing. I could not believe what I was witnessing. Ollie Watkins was having a field day against his favorite team. Ollie Watkins from the championship had a field day with us. Absolute field day with us. But yeah, what are you going to do? These things happen, right? You brush yourself off. You say, you know what? Next game versus Leeds, promoted side, we got this. Promoted side, we got this. We're gonna go face Leeds. We're gonna go do this. We're gonna go do that. We're gonna create some chances. We're gonna score goals. We're gonna do all this stuff versus Leeds, right? Nah, didn't go that way. We gave up 25 shots to Leeds. 25 shots to Leeds away from home, yeah. It's their house. But we gave away 25 shots. 25 shots, you know. 25 shots. Mad thing. On top of that, that day, I thought Nicolas Pepe's career at Arsenal was finished. I thought that day Nicolas Pepe's career at Arsenal was finished. When he headbutted when he headbutted Alioski, when Nicolas Pepe headbutted Alioski, whoo! I thought his career was finished. I thought he was finished at that point. I did not think he was going to survive that. I did not think Nicolas Pepe was going to survive this situation. I thought, you know what, the one thing you can do as a player is to show that you have the weak mentality and you're somebody who's going to who can get at, people can get at. And that right there, I felt like showed weak mentality. But yeah, from there, things got more interesting. So we lost now. We lost we lost to Aston Villa. We drew against Leeds 0-0. Then we have the Wolves game. The Wolves game was a mad thing. The Wolves game was an absolute madness. First things first. Halftime, just before halftime, there's a dangerous incident with, you guys know his name, the striker. He had a situation where he got a massive head injury from him and David Luiz's collision. David Luiz's collision with, what's his name? His name escapes me right now. But the striker for Wolves, Jimenez and David Luiz had a massive head collision, which led to a dangerous moment in the game where they needed to literally stop the game for at least 7 to 8 minutes, maybe even more. It felt like 11 minutes long at the time. They made us wait until everything was back to normal. And then after that incident, the game started. The game started from there because that's when the game begun. And you know what the first thing was? The first thing was Pedro Neto scoring a goal. Pedro Neto scored a goal. He showed us he's arrived. And you know what? From that moment on, I thought we were going to get this game back because Gabriel then scored a goal from a Willian assist from a short corner. Once Gabriel scored the goal, I thought we had a chance to win this game. But then, quickly after that, Paden scores a goal. Paden scores a goal off the rebound. And you know what? I was just like, yo, at this point, it's like, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? When Paden's scoring a goal off a rebound, Leno's not having a good day. We end up losing the game 2-1. And now it's just the losses are just piling up. And we've now not won a game since the Manchester United game. We've played 3 games. We've lost against Aston Villa, drew against Leeds, and lost against Wolves. Ridiculous. And just what we need. After beating Rapid Vienna 4-1, we have a North London derby. Thomas Partey comes back from injury. And what happens quickly? They score. And Thomas Partey is injured. And this game was over before it even begun. You had Harry Kane celebrating. You had Son celebrating. You had them all celebrating and just enjoying life. They were just enjoying themselves. They were living their life at the top of the league, kicking it. And we were struggling, stressed at that point, losing and drawing for no wins in our last 4 at that point. Terrible moments at that point. And you can see Willian underperforming in that game, just looking in the background and saying, you know what, why did I come here? I don't know why you came here, mate. I don't know why you came here. But yeah, that Tottenham game was a low point. But you thought the Tottenham game was bad. Woo! You don't even know what happened next. The next game was even worse. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang has not scored a goal in a long time at this point. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang has not scored a goal in at least since the Manchester United game when he got the penalty. And we're like, yo, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang needs to get his goal. He needs to break his goal drought. But no. You know what happened instead? Granit Xhaka happened. Granit Xhaka got a red card for choking one of the Burnley players. Granit Xhaka got a red card for choking one of the Burnley players. Absolutely pissed me off. I couldn't believe it. Could not believe my eyes. After he got the red card, it just got worse. They ended up scoring a goal. They ended up scoring an own goal from a cross. And to make things worse, the guy who puts it away is actually Aubameyang, our captain. The guy who hasn't scored a goal since the Manchester United game. was the one that put the goal in the back of the net. At that point, I don't know what to say. I honestly don't know what to say at that point. I don't know what to say at that point. We've lost to Burnley 1-0 at home. Couldn't get any worse. Surely it couldn't get any worse. Right? It couldn't get any worse. But no. Somehow, now we're facing Southampton. It does get worse. Our best defender at that point was Gabriel. Gabriel was absolutely killing it. He was doing amazing every single week, game in, game out, doing amazing. But you know what did happen that game? Gabriel got a red card. He got sent off, and he was out for 3 games now. So now we got Thomas Partey injured. We got Gabriel getting a red card. We got Granit Xhaka with a red card. We got Pepe who's gotten a red card. We've gotten penalties being given away every single left, right, center. Everything's just going wrong. And at this point, we are in full-out relegation battle. Madness. People are saying we might go down, you know. That's how crazy people were going. But yeah, it was a mad thing. Absolute mad thing. At the end of the day, we ended up escaping with the 1-0, 1-1, I mean. But not until Theo scored in the 18th minute and celebrated, and Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang broke his duck in this game, scoring a goal in the 52nd minute. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang finally scored his next goal. That was his 3rd goal of the season. That's mad. That's mad. Then, this game made no sense. Look at the lineup we started with in this game. We're facing Everton away. Everton away. And look at the lineup we went with. Can I show you guys the lineup we went with? Everton away. We played Eddie Nketiah, Pepe, Willian, Saka, Elneny, Ceballos, Ainsley, Tierney, David Luiz, and Holding. What were we expecting to get out of a game when you're starting these players? It was a mad thing. It was absolute madness. I couldn't believe my eyes. I could not believe my eyes. I could not believe my eyes. This is the team we went with against Everton. You know what happened that game. Everton beat us 2-1. How did they beat us 2-1? Rob Holding own goal. Pepe scored a penalty. And Yerry Mina got a header at the end of the game. Yes, Yerry Mina got a header at the end of the game. How did Yerry Mina get the header? If I can find the image. Oh my God, it was a madness. It was absolute madness. Oh, even worse, the substitutions. Absolute madness. Absolute madness. But yeah, let's continue. Okay, we got CK in the house. CK, what are you saying?
I'm good. What are you saying?
Yo, right now we're at the Everton game, right? So after the Everton game comes the Chelsea game. Probably one of our highest points of the season. One of our best moments of the season was that Chelsea game, right? Because we did not expect to win that game. Everyone was down. Everyone was out. Everyone thought, you know what? The season's shit. We're not going to win nothing. We're not going to do nothing. But you know what? From a Granit Xhaka, from a penalty, Lacazette penalty, to a Granit Xhaka free kick that nobody expected to go in, and to Saka scoring a screamer that I would say is a little lucky. What did you think about that game?
It was the first game we had Smith Rowe, and the first game we actually performed. The first game we had someone between the lines, moving players about, making movement, making 1-2s, doing overloads, and we performed. So a cam or a creative player or someone between the lines was needed, and we didn't have that from the whole season before that. So Smith Rowe was the proof in the pudding.
Some people say this was one of their biggest highlights of the season. For me, the Chelsea game was not maybe – it was probably one of the biggest highlights in the Premier League season, because we did not expect to win this game, and the way that we won it, in the fashion and how dominant we were, it was great to see. But, of course, there was a lot more stuff to come. The season didn't end there. The season did not end there, mate. The season got worse, but before it got worse, it got a little better. We went on to beat Brighton. Lacazette scoring a goal to beat Brighton. We beat Brighton 1-0. That was
moved up to 13th.
That was the Brighton game, right? So we won that game. We overall, that game was a shit show. It could have been a draw. It could have been a loss. It could have been a win. Either way, we ended up squeaking through. That game was not the most memorable game. But you know what the most memorable game, one of the more memorable games were? the 4-0 after Kieran Tierney scored that crazy goal in the rain, in the snow, and the game was snowing and everything was going crazy. And before the game, Sam Allardyce saying we are in a relegation battle with
with them. Yeah.
and everything that he was talking shit about us. And we ended up going there and smacking the shit out of them. We slapped them up, and I loved it. You know why I loved it? Because I got to see Kieran Tierney put in some work. I seen these guys playing in the snow, and that game, it was aesthetically pleasing as much as it was pleasing on the eye, footballing wise, because we won that game 4-0.
Yeah, we
Right.
did. Tierney performed, got a goal. Lacazette got 2 goals, I think.
Smith Rowe,
Saka Smith Rowe scored a beautiful goal. Even Ceballos performed that game. So everyone performed that game. It
yeah.
was showing that was our 3rd win in a row. It was showing the difference Smith Rowe made to our team.
Yeah, facts. Then we got Crystal Palace game 0-0. No point of even showing it. We beat Newcastle 3-0. That was a beautiful game where Bamiyang came back fit and firing, scored 2 goals, and Saka scored a goal versus Newcastle after we barely scraped by 2-0 in the FA Cup. Then we lose in the FA Cup to Southampton, but then we beat Southampton 3-1.
That was a good game.
3-1. And then comes the rot again. You know what happened to start the rot? This was the game that started all the problems. The Manchester United game where we drew 0-0 at home against Manchester United. This game right here started a lot of problems for me because I felt like the moment this game ended, the mentality of the players showed. This was a game where we could have won this game. But then
but we had injuries that game, I think. I swear Tierney and Saka were both injured.
we could have won this game though still. Anyway,
Yeah, I know.
people on Facebook, come join us on YouTube. The video's ending on Facebook now.
I actually think that was considering the fact that we had players injured and Man United have an actually better balanced team than us. I actually think getting a 0-0 was actually a good result. Pepe could have scored that game, but yeah, I think getting a 0-0 was a good result considering the injuries we had and how good Man United were at that point. They were top of the table at that point, if I remember correctly. I can check. But yeah, Man United were top of the table at that point.
Yeah. So what happened after the Manchester United 0-0 was we played, if you guys can see right here, after the 0-0, we played Wolves, we played Aston Villa, and we lost both games. That Wolves game, first of all, was a madness. That Wolves game was an absolute madness. Do you remember the David Luiz getting sent off?
Yep, for the Willian Jose
Leno
touch.
getting a red card. Leno
one was absurd. Leno himself made a crazy mistake for no reason, coming out, and he panicked. He was scared. He's scared of Adama Traore running towards him. He panicked and he handballed it. But we were dominating the game from the off. Saka nearly scored in 20 seconds.
Saka almost scored a brace. Pepe scored a beautiful goal.
Yeah, he scored a good goal, Pepe.
But everything was ruined by this moment.
We should have been clear by halftime, but we missed our chances. Then in the 44th minute, that David Luiz nonsense happens, red card, pen, and then we come back, and within 5 minutes, I think, they scored a screamer. Who was it? Jean Moutinho scored a screamer. And the rest was history.
I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it. I just could not believe how did we put ourselves in that situation. It was ridiculous. But yeah, that game was one of the most memorable games because of the VAR decisions and the goalkeeper getting sent off and Leno getting sent off. But then the next game was the same thing though.
Yeah, we started badly.
Remember how we conceded a goal in like the opening seconds? Where was it?
3rd minute, I think. Cedric passed it straight to.
Can you see what I'm showing you?
Yeah, I can see it. A picture.
Yeah. So in a few seconds, Cedric passed it back to Gabriel. Gabriel loses the ball. Traore gets back. gets past Gabriel, after, and then just passes it into thing. Ryan slips, and look at how close that is to him. He couldn't do nothing about it.
Cedric panics, man. Cedric, from the start, 3 minutes, 1-0 down, you're starting very badly. Cedric really puts in a poor position. He panicked. As I said, he panicked. He misread the pass. Gabriel misread the pass, couldn't make it in time, and then Bertrand Traore nicked it from him, and the rest was history.
Yeah, and then
He went
remember
down to 9th.
Saka was clear, and Konsa somehow got a yellow.
Yes.
How the hell was this not a red? If this was Arsenal, you do realize this would have been given as a red, you know. Saka was clear. He was clear on gone. Like he was gone. Goal scoring a position. How did Saka only get how did this guy only get away with a yellow in this situation? To this day, I don't know. I just don't know.
The FA.
Yo, let's just keep it moving. Let's just keep it moving. Then, yo, you got after we had the Leeds game. The Leeds game was amazing, winning 4-2. The way we played, attacking wise, the lineup that we went out with. We had Odegaard, Smith Rowe, Saka, Aubameyang for the first time, all four of them, and it looked amazing, aesthetically pleasing. Aubameyang got a hat trick, right?
First Premier League hat trick.
First Premier League hat trick. He was so happy after the game too. I just remember that game like it was yesterday and how happy everyone was after the game. I did not expect that kind of performance from them. I did not expect that. I expected Leeds to give us a hard time. But yo, the way we just went at them, it was beautiful to see.
This game was very good structurally. We counter pressed them a lot in this game. Saka should have been given a pen, but they removed it. We deserve more than 4 goals, in my opinion, in this game. Oba's first Premier League hat trick. We actually did well this game, considering the form before this, because we were actually losing a lot before this. Leeds, everyone thought we'd lose to Leeds because of their press and our certain mistakes in build-up, but the structure Arteta used in this game only made us thrive.
Yo, what are you saying, bro? What did you think about this game? Realist.
Oh, me? Yeah. About this game, this was a game beforehand I wasn't looking forward to because of the way Leeds pressed, the way they played, the energy, the enthusiasm. I wasn't looking forward to it. And as soon as the game started, within the first 5 minutes, I knew we were going to win the game because we matched them. But not only did we match them, we did everything that they were supposed to do, but we did it better in terms of pressing, playing from out the back, just beautiful football. It's just everything that we wanted to see from the start of the season, and this game just summed up what I wanted to see and what other fans wanted to see. And this game personally got me gassed. I thought Aubameyang was back. I thought Danny Ceballos was Santi Cazorla reincarnated. It was mad, but.
Look at how crazy that statement sounds.
This is Santi Cazorla reincarnated.
Yeah, that's what I thought, but obviously I was wrong.
Do you remember these moments when we seen Smith Rowe, Saka, and Aubameyang just doing madness? It was amazing to see.
Yeah, that was actually a very, very good game. That's arguably our best game this season.
It has to be one of the best games that we've had by far. Someone's getting feedback. Can you make sure you can turn down whatever you're listening to? There you go. I don't hear it anymore. Okay, so yeah. So then after this, you guys know what happened. After this, it was another scrape where we just almost nicked it. But I felt like Man City beat us from a Raheem Sterling header. Holding got beat by a header by Raheem Sterling. I know how mad you were, Gunnar Express. I remember that. But one thing I'll tell you is, as bad as this game was, and we lost 1-0, the reason why people were upset is because we never even tried. It didn't look like we even got out of first gear. They didn't get out of first gear. A lot of people said, you know what, Pep Guardiola at halftime just told the guys, relax. You remember that? Everyone was saying that.
That wasn't.
I remember this like it was yesterday. I'm saying to myself, yo, no way he told these guys to relax at halftime. But it definitely looked like they weren't they weren't in first gear anymore. Gunnar Express.
Yeah.
At this point of the season, that Man City game, were you even upset anymore? You just accepted it, like.
No, because I don't ever accept my team losing games, especially the way that we did in that match. Yeah, City were definitely the favourites going into that match, and nobody could have complained if we lost. But it's the fact that, like you just said, we didn't even try. We conceded a very stupid goal, but we had a few opportunities, but we accepted it. Like, we accepted just the defeat, and I'm like, it was 1-0. If we scored, it could have ended 1-1, or we could have possibly nicked a win, or they could have gone and scored another 20 goals.
We were at home too. That's
exactly.
The worst.
Just putting that fight. I said it. I'd rather lose 2-0, but us at least attempt to go for that goal, than us lose 1-0 and not even try. Because at least we're attempting it. Like, okay, we got beaten by the better team, that's whatever, but we didn't get beaten by the better team because City were quite poor, let's be honest. They were a bit slow and a bit lethargic. Again, I thought we could have got a result from that, but I think that was more on the players for me than the manager. I don't think he helped, but the players just didn't care. They were just they didn't. As I say, they didn't care.
You realized.
Yeah. This game summed up our season perfectly. It was just a goal that should have never been conceded. It was for me, it was one of the worst goals to concede this season. An early goal, Man City were just getting to first gear. Well, they weren't first gear, but they were getting into it. Morris had beaten Tierney. He'd put a lovely cross, but I remember it was Holding and it was Bellerin behind him. And Sterling just snuck into both of them. I think he went through Holding's blind side. And Bellerin was behind him. And it was just wonderful. Wow, that goal, it had a bitter taste in my mouth. It was genuinely one of the worst goals to concede defensively because it's just one of them goals where it could have just easily been defended, if you like to say. So piss taken, to be honest.
Yeah, no, I hear that, man. It was.
I don't think it was that bad. It was bad. Well, to lose 1-0 to City, it wasn't necessarily bad, especially considering the other losses we've had this season. I think it wasn't the way people say, "Oh, Pep just relax." I don't think it was like that. I think Pep's team was nullified. At the same time, whilst nullifying our attack, I think we just that early goal. If that never happened, I think we would have seen a different game. But Holding, I can't believe he got beaten in the air by what's his name? Sterling, was it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got beaten in the air by Sterling. And from then, there's not much we can do because if we come out and try to force it, we get smashed. So Holding.
I'm just gonna say this right now. That game, it was a example of our season. We did not try. We gave in, and we just accepted the defeat after a certain point. And you know what? There was chances, but we just did not have the technical qualities to do it. And going into the Leicester game, there was no confidence. But you know what? Surprisingly, after Tielemans scoring in 6 minutes, we went on to win that game 3-1 with David Luiz header, Lacazette penalty, and Nicolas Pepe putting on a show. I would say this was one of Nicolas Pepe's best performances in a game. David Luiz, man of the match. Willian, a man of the match. It was mesmerizing. If you guys remember, Elneny played well too. Elneny played very well that game too. But this game was one of those games where it was just like, you know what? From the opening minute, they did not look good with that Tielemans goal that was conceded, but they went on, they pushed on, and you know what? They turned that result around so quickly. I was impressed. I did not recognize the team that played against Manchester City to the team that played against Leicester. I know Leicester is lesser quality than City, but at the same time, Leicester were much better than us the majority of the season. And when that happened, I remember everyone saying, you know what? You're crazy, Iga. How are you going to beat Leicester? But hey, we ended up beating them 3-1. What do you guys got to say? Gunnar Express?
Yeah, like you just said, it was a complete difference in the City game. And that's what I'm saying. That's what I wanted to see against City. We conceded early, a goal that, again, we probably could have avoided. but we still go and fight back, and we get the win. And again, I'm not saying that would have happened against City, because yes, they are much better than us in every way, shape, and form right now. But you don't know. It's football. Anything can happen. And we gave in. So, but yeah, the Leicester game, for me, this was Pepe's first good game this season. It's when he began to kick on. I thought he had that Luke Thomas, was it? He had him on absolute ropes.
Yep.
And then, I mean, like CK said, you got to give Willian his flowers, man, because he was really good in this game. I think it was probably his only really good performance, but it's more than what Ziyech has done this season, isn't it?
Yeah.
So.
Okay, I'm just gonna read this next one. I'm gonna switch straight up to the next game. Burnley, Arsenal 1, Burnley 1. Let me just read what this says for the goal. Goal, Chris Wood capitalizing on a terrible mistake from Granit Xhaka. 1-1. Clareton are gifted, by the way, back into the game by Granit Xhaka. Midfielder slams clearly off the body of Chris Wood, and he tries to clear across the face of his own goal. The New Zealander on his hip and travels back into the net. Arteta is furious on the touchline. That was a report by the guy. And just as you can see, Chris Wood is just off celebrating like shamelessly, like he scored the goal, like he did something. When we all know we basically gave them the goal to come back into this game after scoring a beautiful goal for the opening goal for Aubameyang, playing out the back, doing everything. That's the beauty and the curse of playing out the back. One goal is given to you guys, and one goal is literally given away to them. It's just not fun, man.
That was what Leno and Xhaka took the win away from us, because before that, Partey was dominating. Partey was. I don't think did Partey play the game before. I'm not sure, but Partey
no, he didn't.
Partey was dominating.
He didn't play against Leicester.
He didn't.
Yeah, so Partey was dominating that game. I think he put in a couple chances for Aubameyang and a couple chances before that to score, but Xhaka and Leno gifted a cheap goal and allowed Burnley to just sit back, even though before that we were very good, looking like we were going to smash them, but you know. It is what it is.
Not meant to be. Yeah. Before I go to Gunner Express, realist. Burnley 1-1. What do you think about that game?
Listen, I have no agendas. That's another Xhaka mistake here. And I just want to say, about 45 minutes ago, I was going out to get food, I come back, go on Twitter, I see Vieira and Xhaka trending, Whoever started that Vieira and Xhaka debate, seek help immediately, because I don't understand how people are trying to compare Xhaka and Vieira. Please don't. But it was just another. It was, like you said, it was the beauty and curse of playing at the back. One goal, our first goal from when I think it was Leno passed it to Holding, and then passed it to Partey, and then they did like a little 1-2, and it was beautiful 1-2, and then Partey found space and he passed it on it to Willian, and then he drove forward and passed to Aubameyang. You cut inside.
Express.
It's a good goal.
Gunner Express. Going into the North London derby. How did you feel?
I actually thought we'd lose. Obviously, we lost, I think, earlier in the season to Tottenham. And we just dropped points to Burnley in the most embarrassing fashion. Another Granit Xhaka mistake, what he was bought pretty much to do, because that's all he really has done. I mean, you can say you can be confident because it's the North London derby, but nobody predicted us to win. And I know that we never usually do get predicted to win, but like at the end of the day, I didn't think we'd win. We were crap in the last game against Burnley. We were so shocking, and if we made those mistakes against Tottenham, we would have easily lost that game. But
yeah. All right, so I'm just gonna paint the room. Son comes off injured. Eric Lamela comes on. I did not expect this to happen. Let me just read what happened. Eric Lamela, what a goal. Spurs first attack of the game, first shot of the game, first attempt of the game, first chance of the whole game is a beautiful strike. A Rabona from Lamela, between two defenders' legs and just off the post, far away from Leno, 1-0 to Spurs. At that point, I'm like, what the F? I'm literally saying to myself, what the fuck happened? But yo, Samuel, you were with me them times. What you
Yeah,
saying?
listen. What you saying, bro? Did I miss the 3-1 Chelsea game already?
Yeah, it's done.
Alright,
Don't
cool.
talk about it again.
Okay, listen. That was a great game. I think that was my favorite match of the season. But listen, this game, listen. We were confident, bro. We said to the game, listen, this time is different from November. We said, you know what? It's Jose. The cracks are starting to show. The Tottenham Queen is starting to fall apart. And we were in good form. We just beat Olympiacos 3-1 on... Was it that Thursday? That Thursday, we beat Olympiacos 3-1. Mohamed Al-Nani banger. Odegaard gets his first goal. I was like, you know what, Igal? I think we're going to do this. I was not nervous at the game. Not one point. Even when they went 1-0 up, I was not nervous. Not one bit. Not one bit nervous. You know what? Moments after they scored, yeah, what happened? Cedric got the ball, it hit the post. I was like, okay, you know what? That goal is never coming. If whether it be 20 minutes, 1 minute, 10 minutes, it's going to come. And guess what? Martin Odegaard gets a deflection, gets his first ever Arsenal goal. And, of course, you know my favourite moment of the match is, Igal? Jermaine Jean is crying on Match of the Day about that penalty, bro. The salt, bro. That salt. I just want to inject it in my veins, bro. It was so salty. Literally, the most saltiest Match of the Day punditry in history, bro. Match of the Day pundits are salty. But this was another level of salt. Like, it took it to a new tier, gal. This guy said, well, it's not a penalty, this and that. Well, I know we didn't win the Europa League, but he said, literally, that night, he said, whilst the president mentions, we'll watch when Tottenham get into the Europa League final. 3 days later, they bottle a 2-0 lead to, what the hell's their name? Dinamo Zagreb. Yeah, that Dinamo Zagreb. They lose 3-0. The manager was behind bars, bro. The manager was behind bars.
Let's stop it. Dead it. You're going too far into it now.
Let's talk about this game, though.
Wait, I'm on my computer. I'm gonna connect to my computer. I'll come back.
I'm gonna say this Tottenham game was a mad thing. The Tottenham game was a mad thing, but moving on to the next game quickly, the West Ham game was even crazier.
Oh,
I remember Gunnar Express losing his shit. We were down 3-0 to West Ham. Am I wrong? Were we not down 3-0?
yeah, we were down 3-0 in 30 minutes.
Madness. Personally, I thought the game was done.
I thought we were losing 5-0. You know what? I was lucky because my whole family was out and I was all around my house and I was losing my shit. I was throwing stuff, bro. It was mad.
I remember the day, the 21st of March. Jesse Lingard assist for the second goal, and then Thomas Suchek goal for the third goal. 32 minutes in. Luckily, there's a second half, and we got our own goal. Thomas Suchek own goal from Dawson and Lacazette penalty. They basically scored 2 goals for us because we couldn't finish if our life depended on it, right? And the most interesting part of this game for me was the guys who got us over the line were important, because the guys who got us over the line were the guys who kept saving us the whole season. If it wasn't for some of these guys, honestly, Lacazette saved our ass again. Martinelli was integral to that goal because Aubameyang just got subbed off, right? Smith Rowe was integral. Tierney was doing well the whole entire day. A lot of these guys were integral. But I'm going to throw it to you, Gunnar Express. What do you think of this West Ham game? Absolutely shambolic, wasn't it?
Yeah, I actually disagree. I thought we were shambolic the whole game. Chambers was all right. I think calling him the English Cafu was purely embarrassing because we still drew that game. And they scored 2 own goals. And at the end of the day, you watch those own goals back. If they didn't, if their players didn't do what they did to score the own goal, it would have still been 3-1 because we didn't create anything other than those own goals and that penalty. So our fans that were celebrating, acting like it was the world's best comeback, like, get off it, man. We drew 3-3 to West Ham, who we should be beating anyway. They had to score 2 of our goals. We scored a penalty, and then we call Chambers the English Cafu. Like, embarrassing, man. It was an embarrassing performance from the fans and the players.
Okay. There's a couple more embarrassing games also. CK Liverpool 3-0 at home. Diego Jota scores 2 goals after he subs on. Madness. What were you saying?
We had, that was probably one of our worst games this season. We didn't look like scoring once. Liverpool dominated. We had Louise not playing and Holding playing. Holding was poor that game. Holding and Gabriel, I think it was. They were poor that game. They made so many mistakes in build up. We couldn't keep possession. Every time we got the ball out, Leno would just pump it up the field. We'd lose the head out, and they just keep coming back. So that was a shocking game from us, to be honest, this season. Shocking.
Samuel, go ahead, Samuel.
Listen, I remember this game. The reason I remember this game is because Igal's internet just acted up. Like, Igal's internet was like a performance that day. It's just a whole mess. It was just a mess, you know. Like, from minute one, you know, we put a strong lineup out them and just got outplayed by Liverpool in every single period of the game. And I think that to me, Igal, this was a wake-up call, you know. The reality struck because right before this game, we just drew to West Ham, beat Tottenham on the high. We say, you know, we can go to this Liverpool game, we could take them on. At this time, I said, you know, some people said, no, mathematically, before it's possible, even after it was long gone. I know that game was the final. So I mean,
is it me or is his internet active?
No, he's lagging. Yeah.
Yeah, bro, you're lagging. Jump out, jump back in. Okay, every single game this season has been shit, says my guy. Ooh.
That's bad.
Liverpool game was the worst game of the season. I don't remember having the ball. Disgrace. Do you want to know how accurate that statement is? Look at the stat. At home, you know. This is a home game.
We were just outplayed in
I
every
wanna
single way possible.
This
One
is a
comment
home
on this
game,
game, this is when Odegaard proved how shit he is. He did nothing in this game, and then ever since that game, he just proved that he's a passenger and he's not very good. And Dizzy, cry about it, bro.
All right, Azan.
Yo,
This was a home game, you know. We played this bad.
the Liverpool game?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, it was a shocking home performance. The lineup I didn't agree with. You know, having Holding and Chambers on that right hand side defensively, and yeah, you know, when Jota came on, he basically changed the game. Him and Mo Salah ran the game after that, after like 60 odd minutes. And yeah, you know, it was just we turned up physically just to appear on live TV. We weren't there mentally in the game. So when it comes to playing these big games or just playing any game in the Premier League in general, what we expect from our team is minimum hard work and for everyone to give it all their all and just try. And this game, they just failed to do that. So,
You're mute, bro.
Slavia Prague 1-1. What were you thinking? Gunnar Express.
This year, the amount of chances we had, we should have ended this game about 5-0. And the fact that they scored a last minute goal. When I mean last minute, it was the last kick of the game. And the fact that it came off like 2 players and the guy headed it in. The worst feeling in the world.
Yeah. Gunnar Express. What do you got to say about this game?
Yeah, again, prove that we weren't good enough. We should not be drawing to Slavia Prague. But you called it, Igal. You said that they were going to cause problems. You said that they were a dark horse. I kind of agreed with you. They proved it. We were shit. So yeah, there's nothing else to say about that game. We were just shit.
I thought we were going to get knocked out by Slavia Prague. I thought Slavia Prague was a much better side than people thought. I didn't even. Did you even preview Europa League campaign? No, I didn't do any Europa League games until now. This is when the Europa League campaign actually started for us. This is when it became tough. Olympiacos, yes, Olympiacos was tough, but to me, when was the Benfica game? It was before or after Slavia Prague?
Round of 32.
Before.
Oh shit! I need to go back to the Benfica game. That was the best game. That was the best series. That was the best. That was the most happiest I've been all season. This game.
What?
This was the happiest. Because look at this. We were out at 61 minutes. I thought we were out. We scored 2 goals. turned around, got 2 comebacks literally in the same game, and the emotions I felt after this game, I was a wreck. I literally remember this game. I came on the terrace. People were like, "Yo, this guy's a madman." I'm like, "Yo, you guys gotta understand. We were out twice. I'm in this game, watching the game. I'm like, yo, shit, we conceded. Then we concede a second goal. And then we end up coming back, scoring a goal. And like, we need more goals. Score more.
Ceballos was shocking.
And then after Tierney scored that goal, the second goal that was scored by Aubameyang from the Saka cross, when Saka was a right back, I was like, oh, the relief. But yeah, the Europa League guys, we're just going to talk about the ending of the Europa League because everything else didn't matter. The Europa League was irrelevant until the end, right? That's all that mattered, the ending. All the other Europa League games didn't matter. They were pointless. Somebody, I'm hearing an echo. Who is that? Hello? Okay, let's continue. So yeah, the next game was Slavia Prague. After we drew Slavia Prague 1-1, we beat Sheffield United 3-0. We just beat them convincingly. You know what this game reminded me? You know why this game was integral to us? Because if you look at the lineup, this was the first time Thomas Partey had a amazing performance.
Yeah. No, he was good versus United.
This was the first time Thomas Partey had a really, really good performance. I was not worried about him at all. In my opinion, this was the game where I was like, yo, Thomas Partey, the pass that he made for Lacazette's third goal. Wow, that pass was just amazing. You know what I mean? Anyways, anyone want to add on?
Ceballos was playing on the left wing most of this game. Saka under 10. That's Martinelli's first game back, I think it was.
Yeah, yo, somebody's audio's fucked up. Whoever it is, can you please? I think it's you, Azan. No, Azan was muted. It can't be him. Okay, yeah. Anyways, everyone's audio is down. I don't know what's going on. We're just gonna end it off. At this point, the rest of the games didn't matter. The Fulham game didn't matter. Everton game didn't matter. Villarreal game. This is where things got.
Because before the Everton game,
forget about
the protest.
This was all that matters. Forget about the protest for now. This game right here. What you guys got to say about this? The first leg. Hello?
Shocking. Listen, bro, it was a bag of hot fire. Oh.
Gooner Express?
Yeah. I mean, again, like Samuel said, what else is there to say, really? I knew we'd lose. I got called negative for saying we'd lose, but I was right at the end of the day. Emery was always going to beat us. He was always going to come with the smoke. He knew how to beat us because we're so predictable. And yeah, he's the thing for me with Emery is he's a very underrated manager. In no way do I think he's a Pep Guardiola level manager, but he's very good at reading a team and knowing how to beat them. That's why he's won the Europa League so many times, because he can watch a couple of games and beat you, and that's what he did. Like, again, both the goals, especially the first one. Why is Granit Xhaka at left back? The first game, Saka got put at left back after he got knocked out. He had the game of his life, and we kept saying it as fans: play Saka left back or play Cedric left back. Just don't use Xhaka. He uses Xhaka. Chuck Weezy absolutely demolishes him. Within 5 minutes, they score. So again, it takes 5 minutes for the fans to be proven right because Arteta doesn't know what he's doing. And then the second goal, again, because no one in our team actually had a ball. This is why I think we need Edmund Tapsoba. So we need someone who's dominant in the air. He's 6'4".
He's not dominant in the air.
Yes, he is. I'm not hearing this bollocks, bro.
You haven't watched him.
Oh, I don't even start with that, my guy. I have watched him. He's dominant in the air.
No, he's not.
Have you watched him, yeah? Because I can tell you, my brother, I've watched him. Like, I swear you watch every single football game, but you're wrong. He's so dominant in the air.
Game,
yeah, exactly.
You've even seen him.
Exactly. So don't
play
talk
against
then.
Martinelli, and Martinelli even dominated him.
Don't talk then, because he is dominant. He's 6'4". One of his main attributes is aerial ability. Yes, he is. Stop reading stats, my guy. Stop reading a little stat page made by some next man. Yeah, at
I've
the end of the
watched him.
day,
Martinelli even
this
dominated him
guy
in the air.
is 6'4".
Even Martinelli dominated him in the air.
What, when he was playing for Vittorio Guimaraes and he had no good
Yeah.
centre backs next to him? If you
Yeah.
put a decent centre back next to him, he doesn't. I'm not even going to go into this for you because
So we need a decent centre back next to him to be good in the air himself.
Maguire is one of the best headers of a ball in the world at centre back. The reason why he's not appreciated for that is because he's covering for his shit partner in Victor Lindelof. When they get a good centre back next to him, he will prove how good he is in the air. Tapsoba is the exact same. He doesn't even have a great partner next to him with Jonathan Tah, yet he's still dominant in the air. Everything he does in the air is dominant. He's 6'4". He wins virtually every header that comes his way. And he is. This is why Leverkusen keep overachieving every season. The only reason they didn't do particularly well this season is when Kai Havertz left, it proved that their team really isn't actually that good. And that's it. And he's one of the best players for them. I'm sorry, I'm not hearing this. I swear, like I watch Tapsoba every single week. I watch pretty much every Bundesliga match or most of them. And Tapsoba's dominant in the air. He wins.
He's not. He's tall.
Yes, he is.
He's 6'4". He's tall. Yes, he's tall. That don't make him dominant in the air.
No,
he doesn't. He's not dominant in the air.
No.
He's just tall. He doesn't win as
Guys,
many headers as you say he does.
Guys, are you guys going to be fighting over semantics the whole time? Can we get back to
it's not semantics. He's just factually incorrect. That's all.
Factually incorrect. Your opinion is factually incorrect.
It's not an opinion.
Correct.
It's not an opinion.
It is an opinion.
The facts is he is dominant in the air.
No, it's not.
Okay. Well, you believe that, my guy, but you're wrong.
Okay. So the reason why he was saying that, if anyone doesn't know, is because we got beat in the air for a cross that ended up going in off a set piece from a corner. Directly from a corner, header onto the striker's head. And the reason why we're talking about headers and tall players is because this game we went with Pablo Mari and Rob Holding as our center back pairing, thinking they would be the best to deal with the height and the physicality of Villarreal's team, and it did not work out that way. We ended up losing that game 2-1, and the opening goal happened out of nowhere, and this was like when did this goal come in? Later in the game. I forget exactly 1 minute, but we were down 2-1, and we in the first tie, going into the second tie, we knew we needed to turn it around, and we needed to just find a way at home to win 1-0.
Can I just add my input on that first leg, please?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so the opening goal within the first 5 minutes just went to show that we, throughout this season, always came into the game not fully focused, not being 100% concentrated on the game from the first whistle to the final whistle. And on many examples previous to this game, we always had to concede to wake up. So their left back getting that opening goal was just that. And also in that first half, we saw that where Ceballos started the game, he was having a stinker. The challenges that he was going into were late. Everyone was thinking, look, come half time, he needs to get subbed off, because I believe he finished that first half with a yellow card. I mean, I certainly was watching that game. I was like, Arteta definitely does need to make at least one minimum sub, possibly two. And then within 10 minutes of starting the second half, what happened? Ceballos got sent off. So Arteta showed that game that his tactical nous or his in-game management, he does have chinks in his armor when it comes to making those crucial decisions. So when we went to 10 men down, it was very hard for us to get back into the game. And then on the 70th minute, I believe Pepe scored the penalty, which ultimately I feel kept, well, at that time, I felt like it kept Arteta in his job. But then, we went on to the second leg and then finally finishing the league, and we still know where he is after that. So,
Miguel, you're muted.
Dizzy's taking the piss out of you if you haven't seen it. It's hilarious. But yo,
What, you taking the piss out of me?
yeah, he's like, yeah. What did he say? He said, Azan, this brother talks like what? A program teacher. What is that?
Oh,
Teach you.
Python programming teacher.
Like an
Everybody
IT teacher,
Oh.
an IT teacher.
slowly, and everybody to understand, speed up, man. Listen, you fake American, chill out, right?
Yeah. So let's get back to the games. So after the Villarreal game, before that, obviously, the Everton game, the protest, where I seen Samuel and all the guys were all kicking it. Tell me this, guys. Did you guys expect to lose that game?
Yes, I fully did, to be honest.
I was there at the protest, and everyone there, no one gives a shit about the lineup, what happened in the game. When I went home, I seen the result, and I'm like, you know what? VR fucked us again. But at the end of the day, we had enough chances to win that game. We didn't win that game. We didn't do shit in that game. We lost 1-0 by the dumbest goal conceded, and it just that Everton game was the perfect preface of our season. Literally
Listen.
lose 1-0 at home in a game where Everton had no right to win and we should have won. We just somehow fucked it up, and we were going to end up blaming it on VAR at the end of the game.
Listen, this match really got on my nerves, okay? So first of all, it's this is sunny day, bro. I come to Emirates Stadium at 4 o'clock, 4:30, 2 hours before the game starts. And I was in a long ass coat, a big ass coat in the heat. And I was drenched in sweat. I was singing my heart out, get the crunkies out of my club. Even a guy was singing his heart. We were fasting. We were fasting up. We were shouting, we were screaming with empty stomachs.
Yeah, Samuel, shorten it.
Okay. Listen. We go in there. The game comes. We sing our house out. They can hear us in the game. Sky Sports, they can hear in the game. Sky Sports can hear us. And what do? Crappy performance. Dreadful again. Boring game. I missed parts of the game, but what I've seen from the game was disgusting. That's absolutely disgusting.
Okay, let me stop you right there. My guy, what are you saying?
Oh, me, yeah. My thing is, we actually started the game well within the first 20-25 minutes, but yeah, it's just a crappy performance. I personally believe any club that comes to the Emirates, if you have this stat year where you haven't beaten us in the last 15 years, you're beating us. It was just one, I think Leicester, Burnley, Everton, all them clubs haven't beaten us for the last 15-20 years. So yeah, but during the I think it was Ceballos who got that penalty, but obviously it was ruled out. But I never believed it was a penalty in the first place, and they didn't check for the penalty, but they just saw that Pepe's hand was offside, and ruled it for offside. But I didn't think it was a penalty in the first place. But my word, that goal that we conceded, the Xhaka goal, I think he wasn't spun, but he planted his leg and he just got it wrong, and Richarlison passed him. But that shot and the way Lennon failed to save it was shocking. I genuinely couldn't believe it.
Let me show you my reaction.
Honestly, I'm lucky I didn't watch the whole 90 minutes of that, because that was absolute garbage. VAR once again.
Oh my god.
Honestly, the VAR rule needs to be changed. How is it that is offside? It's ridiculous. How is that offside? I don't know. But what about the fact that Leno, mate, what do you...
How does he concede from that angle?
Own goal.
Bullshit.
doing, mate? How do you let Richarlison score from that angle? Ridiculous goal conceded. Absolutely pissed off. That's now 10 defeats at home this season. This season, man, it just gets worse and worse. Going the Europa League, this is the worst season in the history of Arsenal, I feel like. At least my history. At least the history from since I've been supporting this club. You guys know the message was loud and clear today. Kroenke out, and let's get these freaking shitbox players out of this club. Some of these guys are not good enough. And you know what? We'll support them during the Europa League, but during the Premier League season, just show some heart. Play some kids. You know what, guys? don't invest too much mentally into this team because they're not that good. They're gonna drive you insane.
That's literally my reaction on the train headed back. I don't think we need to go over that game again. I did it perfectly right there.
Aslan, have you seen Big Zubba's comment?
No.
He says, Aslan, are you from Narnia, bro?
Oh my god.
Nah. Well, if you engage with them, bro, they're gonna get.
No, just reply to him, man.
Do you get it? Because Aslan's the lion from Narnia, isn't it?
Yeah, but Aslan means lion in Turkish, mate. So
yeah, that's what I mean. Like, Zubba's not trying to roast you. Dizzy, I don't know about, but
yo, people, let's bring it back. Let's bring it back. So we're all at the protest, us three at the top. I want to ask you guys: did the protest do anything? Did it benefit?
No. Listen. Nothing, bro. I was there. Listen, I thought we made a difference. Daniel Ek made his comments. I was like, after coming home from the protest, I was, you know what? I think we did a good job. I was convinced the Crunkies were going to sell after that protest. Maybe it was my state of mind after having that energy, but none of them worked. That was the only one that had any sense of attention, any sense of media focus, fan focus, and it just didn't work. It wasn't effective. It got a reaction of the Crunkies, okay? They put a little statement, but that was it. That was the maximum.
You know, the worst part for me was it went from Kroenke out to Arteta out very quickly.
And that's the issue.
Quickly. And no one cared about Kroenke out at that point. Everyone was just Arteta out. And Kroenke's got away with murder because a lot of people that were Kroenke out just stopped talking about Kroenke out and started talking only about Arteta out.
Yeah, it's a sad reality though. That's the thing, because the Crunkies year in year out, no matter what manager, no matter what player, they hide behind them. Be it Arsene Wenger, be it Unai Emery, be it Freddie Ljungberg, be it Mick Carter, be it Granit Xhaka, they are the shield, the human shield of the Crunkies. They get away with anything, bro. It's because the Arsenal fans look directly at it. The Crunkies are right at the back, and then the players just stand in front of them. They're a massive human shield, and they go for them first.
This is killing me, man.
Guys, can we just end the season here? Guys, say what you gotta say.
Do it.
I'll go last.
This is when the season ended.
Can I go first to go?
Yeah, go on.
First off, just to prove you wrong, CK, Tapsoba has a better aerial duel success rate than Koundé, Diaz, Silva, Maxence Lacroix, who was seen as one of the best centre-backs in the Bundesliga this season. So, again, if you like using stats, which I don't, but I'm going to use them, he is statistically better than every single player that I just named in terms of aerial duel success rate. He also had a better aerial duel success rate than Ramos, but if you want to count him or not because he was injured, then do or don't. But he is good in the air. He has won pretty much more than half of his aerial duels, which is more than any of our players. So he would improve us in the air. That's all I'm saying. But in terms of the season ago, and the panel and the fans watching, it was a shocker. One of the worst in our history, whether you want to admit it or not, it was. That's a fact. This whole 23 games, second place, I don't give a flying fuck, personally. I don't care, because the season's 38 games. And I just want to ask this one thing. If we were the second best team for 23 games of the season, which is more than half of the season, why did we finish 8th? Those first 15 games must have been very, very bad, meaning that he should have been sacked. So he's lucky he wasn't, because the board had no ambition. But yeah, this season for me exposed the Cronkies more than they should have been exposed anyway, but exposed them properly now that they have no ambition, that they need to go, that Ek needs to come and be our saviour. It also exposed that Arteta's not good enough, even though I've been saying that for a long while. And it exposed that some of these players, the likes of Granit Xhaka, the likes of Bellerin, they aren't good enough, man.
CK, you know that they heard about the Cronkies. I'm going to go to you next. Is there anything with the Cronkies you disagree with going to express right there?
Say that again?
You should know that you had when you talked about the Cronkies. Is there anything you disagree with it? Anything wrong with what you said?
Do I disagree about the Cronkies?
Yeah.
No, I disagreed about Daniel Ek coming in because I think it was just a PR move, but the Cronkies, you could get better owners than them, but I don't see Daniel Ek as coming. I don't think Daniel Ek was really serious, even though with all these getting them Vieira and that, they keep coming out every week saying Ek is serious, but I honestly don't think he'll be serious to buy Arsenal.
And CK, how would you review the season?
Overall, I think it was a poor season, very poor season. To finish 8th is a poor season. Towards the second half of the season, I've seen positives, certain improvements, but the first half of the season was so bad that those improvements didn't do too much. We only finished 6 points off top 4, so with certain improvements, maybe we could get closer, but we could even get further away. We never know. I think we'll get closer, but we've seen positives. We've seen very, very bad lows. The season overall is a poor one, to be honest.
Thank you, CK. And let's go to my guy, Realist now. Realist, how do you review the season, bro?
Shit season. That's it. There's no other words need to be put into that sentence or that statement. It's been a shit season. That's it. We're 8th. There's no improvement. I don't care. People say we've had 5 extra points. I couldn't care less. 8th is 8th. We've done nothing. And we need to spend big this summer. Yeah, it's been a shit season.
Yeah. I mean, this year worse than 30, 40 years. Just an absolute embarrassment. I want to go to my guy, Aslan. Aslan, how do you review the season, bro? Literally the longest season I think I've ever been through.
Just before on the season conclusion, that second leg to Villarreal is when I made my debut on Igal's channel. That's when I came on and said, my blood's boiling and whatnot after the end result. It was just a piss poor performance. And, when it was still 0-0, the scoreline around the 80th minute, and Arteta subbed off Aubameyang, that just bamboozled me. And yeah, that just went to show how much we didn't try or fight in this season. Our attitude was terrible. And yeah, on the season as a whole, it was pathetic. It's not what I expect of my club or my team to do. I hold my club to a higher standard. So I always, before any game, my heart always says Arsenal will win. But, depending on the opposition, my head may differ. But I would, never want my team to win. I mean, I never want my team to lose. And yeah, the players, this team, this squad, this club, going forward into the next season, they owe us a lot more. Now that the fans are slowly returning, hopefully we'll be there at the first game, our first game home into the new season, and that they show up not just physically but mentally as well, because they need to win over the fans very quickly, because we are the 12th man, and when we play top dollar, we expect big performances. So that's my conclusion.
Thank you very much. And then before Gal goes, I got my final bit. I'm on the last panelist to go. Bro, this has been possibly, I think, the longest season I've ever went through. Watch along 1, West Ham United, me, Igal Albert. Watch along number 1, Arsenal 2, West Ham 1. 1-0 up, 1-1. We get a win the last minute with Lacazette 2-1. From then onwards, I was like, yeah, we beat Man United 1-0 at Old Trafford. We'll take good time with it, time. And then from then onwards, cliff. Straight off a cliff. It's gone like this, or seasons like this. We're on a high, straight down to earth. 1 week later, am I lagging?
No.
Oh, okay. Fall off a cliff. 1 week later, lose 3-0 to Aston Villa. 11-game run through Christmas until the Chelsea game, which I think was the best game. I think the most fun I've had in the game. The most fun I've ever had in a watch along. Most fun game I've had, because they as much as we are team shit, we love to beat Chelsea and see their fans cry. It's one sight we love to see. We do love it. I know I'm very going with a long ass uni lecture presentation, but I digress. I just want to say this has been a long season, pathetic, absolute dumpster fire, bro. It's been a dumpster fire. Toronto Raptors type of double fire, just absolutely shocking from head to toe. Listen, there's only way is up now. That's what I will say. Only way is up.
I'm just going to show you this. This is our league finishes from 2001 until 2021. So in 20 years, we went from in a span of 20 years, we've gone from winning the league 2 times in 3 years to finishing outside of the top 4 5 years in a row. This is ridiculous. I'm sorry. I don't care what anybody says. The club that has history like this, we are slowly turning into History FC. We're slowly turning into Liverpool. I'm not making fun of Liverpool. It's actually a compliment. You guys have a lot of history, and you guys are a big, prestigious club, and you're known for your history and everything around that surrounds the legacy of Liverpool. And we are starting to turn into Legacy FC, and I don't want that.
Well, if it means that we get to win a Champions League title within 20 years, then I'll take it.
Listen, one thing I gotta say, guys, I know I don't want to be too positive, but I see this. This is as low as we can get, bro. I'm just saying.
No, it's not.
It's a low.
Let's say that.
All I gotta say is, ever since they changed the Premier League logo, every year they change the Premier League logo, it gets worse for us. They changed
the conspiracy, man.
Look. They changed the Premier League logo in 2004. Yeah. Since 2004, we haven't won the league. They changed the Premier League logo again in 2016. Since then, we haven't gotten back into top 4. I think they need to stop. They need to change the logo ASAP. Maybe it'll get us better.
Tinfoil hats, man. Conspiracy theorists. The Premier League are cheating us.
It's onto something.
Did you watch the Wolves game? Anyway, someone said Ego wants to blame
taking us goals.
We all watched that game.
They're taking us
someone said I'm blaming the logo. I'm off this, guys. You guys taking too much of a piss. I'm gonna be back tomorrow with Champions League watch along.
Oh damn!
I'm going on holiday. I'm going missing. You won't see me for a month.
What's everyone's prediction going into for the Champions League final?
Listen, I'm going to go first.
I might as well do another video for the Champions League if we're going to do a prediction video, but not right now.
All right, cool.
There's oh
my God!
No,
what's going on, everybody? I need you guys to go check out my channel and subscribe if you're new, and don't forget to subscribe.